Hi, Greg from DIY RV Home Campers Life. Today I'm doing some repairs on this Dometic CF80 cooler. It was given to us because it wasn't working properly. We did some diagnostics. We believe it's going to be the thermistor here, so we went ahead and searched and we were able to locate some on eBay. Got a pair of them. And now let's see if we can't get it fixed. Now, as you can see, it is showing a negative 16 degrees Fahrenheit no matter where it is set. Currently I had it set for 43 degrees and it was freezing everything out. That's why we believe it's going to be the thermistor that's bad. So let's go ahead and just power it down and tear into this. On this specific model, we're going to go ahead and just remove the 6 screws that hold the cover for accessing to the compressor. Once that plate's off, we now can find and locate the thermistor wire, which is right here in my hand. And that thermistor wire runs up to the controller and then down behind the compressor along the bottom of the cooler. To access the plug on the back of the control panel, we're going to go ahead and remove the 2 screws that hold it in place. And simply pry it forward to release it. And once there, you'll see there is a ribbon wire and then also a plug with 2 wires. We're going to take the plug with 2 wires off. And now we can just pull it down out of the channel. I'm going to go ahead and put the controller back in place. I'm not going to screw it down. I'm just going to put it back in place, close the lid. That way nothing happens to it. At this point, I went ahead and tipped the cooler on its side. It'll be all right. It'll be on its side or upside down for a very short period of time. It's fine. Now there are some screws that are holding the mount for the compressor and assembly. We're going to go ahead and take those off because we'll have to move that out of the way so that we can unscrew and remove the screws for the base of the cooler. Now we want to just kind of easily move it out of the way. We don't want to pry too much. The copper pipes there do go up and into and around the cooler. We don't want to damage those, so we're just kind of prying slightly, just enough that we can access, and you can see the screw right there. There's 3 along the back side of that and 2 on each, 1 on each side that we're going to need to remove. And after removing those, there's still a pair that are in the middle of that bottom piece for the cooler, and there's a few on the side. I didn't video those, but we got those out of the way. Now we're just going to slowly, easy pry that bottom piece to release it. We're not taking it completely off, we're just pulling it down. That's going to give us room to get to the wire and pull it out of the hole that it's in at this time, the thermistor wire. Now you can see right here, there was a wire clip that was attached to the side of the cooler. I'd already taken that one off, taking the screw out of that one. There was still another one that was behind the compressor, and that's what I'm working at, getting that screw out now. It was hard to video actually removing the screws out of that, but there was 3 of those clips on that wire. There's the screw. That was all right with the unit just kind of falling a little bit. It didn't do any damage. Now I'm actually reaching in and pulling on the thermistor wire, pulling it out of the hole and recess that it's in, or cavity that it's in. And that white stuff, that's some thermal paste that was on it, and so I'm actually wiping it off so it doesn't get all over the place. That stuff it's a mess when it gets on you or gets on something. So once that's off, I've got the old thermistor and it's out off to the side, got the new one, and I've got some other thermal paste that I've actually put on to this thermistor, and I'm going to go ahead and put it back into the hole. And right here is kind of hard to see, but as you see, I'm getting the thermistor pushed back in that hole, and I'm just going to go ahead and push it as far as it'll go inside that space. Once that is done, now I can go ahead and start reattaching the wire with the clips to hold it to the side of the cooler. That's just so it doesn't move around. Also, there was some mastic right here. It was like a putty that was around the old thermistor and pressed into the hole. It acted as a little bit of a sealant there, so I went ahead and got that and put that back in place. With that done, now I can go ahead and start to reassemble or put everything back together. And I'm just taking my time, making sure that everything's falling back in where it's supposed to, giving it a little love taps. And once I'm content that everything's in place, I'm going to go ahead and start putting the screws back in. Now these are the screws that you didn't see me take off originally, but there was 4 on the back side and then 2 in the center of the cooler bottom. And then of course there was 5, the 3 across the back and 2 on the side that were hidden underneath that plate, a mounting plate. Got that done. Now it's time to go ahead and remount put the screws back in for that base plate. And we've gone ahead and got it turned over. We're going to go ahead and pull the control back off. We'll fish the new thermistor wire back up through that hole and plug her back into the control board. Now it does have an index, so it can only go on one way. With that done, I'll go ahead and put the control board and display back in position where it was. Reinstall the 2 screws that hold it in place. And we're going to give her a test. Here we go. Now I'm running it up and down. It's working as to set the temperature up and down, going through, make sure all the buttons work. And as we see, it's going to flash. And it's going to show what temperature it's at currently, 32 degrees Fahrenheit. So now it is displaying correctly and the unit is operating correctly. That is the old thermistor wire. And there is the second one that we had. So project only took about an hour, and as you can see, it's showing 33 degrees Fahrenheit now. So hopefully this helped you out. CF80 Dometic cooler, They're old, but heck, they are running strong. Hope you liked the video. If you did, please hit the like button, subscribe, and share. Till next time, happy camping.